it's too slow on the left side. So my left shoulder has been feeling a lot better, but when I get the heavier weights, my fixation is slower and slightly out in front, so it ends up either bouncing off and rolling forward or just being too forward. So I'm gonna do SOTs presses, behind the neck SOTs presses, whatever you're gonna call them, until my shoulder explodes or I fix my mobility. So we'll just keep working. Let myself go up on my toes just so I could get a more vertical torso when I was doing this movement. I don't have heels on, so I'm gonna work to getting it to having my heels down, but I'd rather just do more presses kind of in that bottom position and just get more repetitions in general. So if I gotta be on my toes, I gotta be on my toes. So maybe just put plates under my feet instead of trying to balance. Apparently I'm not coordinated. I could put, I have my weightlifting shoes, I could just put them on, but it's not that important right now. Actually a lot better on the plates. I'm going to try to adjust narrow, make it more difficult. Really feeling my mid and upper back. It's a really good stretch. So, in the particular exercise that I'm doing now, the most I've ever done is like 135 maybe. But in general, as far as like actual lifts, my best snatch is 135, so 297 in pounds, and 365 or 166 in kilos for the clean jerk. Squat, back squat, 520 pounds, just like 235, or I forget, I don't know what it is in kilos, to be honest. I always forget. Front squat, 195 in kilos, 430 pounds, and then deadlift 672 pounds or 305 kilos. Bench press, I did a 150 back in the day. I don't bench press anymore. That's 330 pounds, but overhead press 225 pounds, so 102 kg. But today it's like SOTs, behind the neck SOTs presses. There are a lot of different names for it. I'm just doing pressing from behind the neck with the snatch grip, and then trying to vary the width to make the mobility more difficult, because I'm frustrated with my left shoulder because it's just not, the mobility is lacking relative to my right shoulder, and I'm thinking because of that mobility when I'm doing a snatch, I am slower on the left side slightly, and my shoulder is slightly rolled forward when I'm catching it, because I keep missing like that, like I'm missing with just my left side, where my left side presses down a little bit and then rolls forward. So trying to get that at least worked on, give myself, you know, something, because when you have a frustrating session or like you miss lifts that you should, it's nice to have an exercise like this that is gonna help, but it's also something that's not going to be a detriment to training tomorrow. At least that's the hope. So let's do some more reps. Do 3 wide and then just keep moving in like an inch or two until it becomes too uncomfortable. About as narrow as I can get it. I actually feel it like all in my thoracic, which is interesting. I feel very little, like a little bit in my shoulders, but it's mostly like that mid back where I'm feeling everything. So I think it's exactly what I need. I think this will just be good for my shoulders in general. When I get inside the rings, more to like where I would hold it for the jerk, it's interesting. Because it feels like my shoulder is super uncomfortable in that position, and it's like doesn't, like it's restricted, but I've always been like that. But it's definitely a difficult exercise, and it's an interesting one because it is like you obviously, it's hard to add weight to it. Like I could add a little bit of weight, but it's more of like a mobility movement than it is just a, you know, like a strict press or something. Keep getting bit by bugs out here. I'm made of sugar. Also added, I think you can kind of see it. I added 2 flags up there, Akron Zips and the Mountain Union Raiders. I added the Akron Zips because that's where I did some high school classes, and I did some, I did my undergrad at the University of Mountain Union, but University of Akron, my high school, I post-secondary with them, and I was able to do some college classes, and I actually counted for my fine art in college, which is actually a reason I was able to graduate in 4 years with 2 degrees instead of having to go for 4.5 or for 5, because the fine art I took for post-secondary counted before my undergrad, because at Mount Union you need to have, that's one of the four like requirements when you're an undergrad, or one of the four domains. One of them's like a music or fine art class, which I didn't have to do, which is fantastic, because a lot of people did like theater, and that would have just been miserable for me to try to do. But we're doing another set here, so I'm trying to do a SOTs press. I'm doing them. They're just difficult for mobility. Still have my weightlifting shoes on, so I got the 5 kilo plates as heel elevators to allow me just to do more repetitions right now. In theory, I do it without any sort of heel elevation, but right now I just want to get the work in. I just want to get repetitions. See if I can do, so regular SOTs press is actually in the front here. See if I can see how bad my front SOTs is. Not too bad with the elevation, but I need to do that movement more. Not even with weight, just how I did just there. I think this actually might be a good like early morning session to start doing, because it's just mobility mostly. Alright, I'm gonna do the same thing as I did last time, so all the way to the collars for 3 presses, and then move it in like an inch or two until my shoulders explode. Collar, or at the ring, I should say. Felt better than the last set, but it's really difficult. I feel a lot in my back, which is like my thoracic, because you kind of have to be like perpetually flexed back. You got to try to do that movement that I'm doing with a barbell, and you'll see how humbling it truly is. Your comment kind of reminds me. I think I was in high school at the time. I don't think I was in college yet, but there's an exercise. I actually have a plate here that you can do for your rotator cuffs. So you turn your thumb down and you go up at like a 45-degree angle. And I was using, I think, a 2.5 pound weight. My brother came down in the basement. I was like, what are you doing? Like, that looks so easy. And I told him, so I'm doing like with that movement, doing sets of like 15. And he came down to the set of 10 and was like, oh, because you don't feel it in your shoulder then you can. You feel it in your rotator cuff, which is much smaller and weaker muscles because it is smaller. So as far, how much do I lift? I said that, I went through all the lifts at the beginning, but what lift do you want to know how much I lift in this particular movement? Not very much, as you can see. Most I've done in any sort of like press like this in the bottom of a squat is like 135 pounds. So not very much, because it's really mobility intensive. Bench press, best ever bench press is 330 pounds, 150 kilos, but that was honestly, I think about 5 years ago at this point, because I don't bench press anymore. In the last couple of years, I've done 315 pounds, maybe once or twice, but I don't bench press much as far as like maximal weights. If I ever do get into it, it's just for repetitions and just to get some extra chest work, but for Olympic weightlifting, you don't really need bench press. It is can be a detriment. Like, you definitely can fit it in, but as far as like going really heavy on it or trying to maximize it, it's not the most useful thing. But if you're doing it for like general, you know, general strength, it's not terrible, especially if it's more close grip and just higher repetitions. But that's kind of true of all weightlifting accessory work. But yeah, 330 is my best bench press, but I don't bench press. I definitely that's definitely not my lifetime limit. I don't think, because I was significantly weaker back then. I was just doing powerlifting, so I had a lot more specific training for that. Um, and my bench press hasn't gone up since then because I've not tried. I'm not flexing. You see me do another SOTs press though. I'm gonna do the same thing I did last set. Do the classic SOTs press, which is in the front rack, and then do the same progression in the back. Feeling slightly better, but definitely, it's definitely actually a really good exercise. Whole back's getting a pump, which is nice because it's like being in a constant flexed position. My ankles are just getting eaten by mosquitoes. My goodness. But yeah, these are really difficult. Really good for you. I need to honestly do them every day. I need to do this, come out and do this progression every single day, because it's not gonna fatigue me for tomorrow. I'm gonna be able to train probably better because I've been doing these. So no, not been to the Olympics. I would need many more years of training and many more supplementations that are not healthy to take to achieve that status, but no. This set, I'm going to just do one of each and try to flex my arms back, or try to focus more on the mobility of it. Here. nuts like that too. That is truly a stretch. Oh, I should have wore. These shoes I have don't need socks, but these bugs are telling me I need some. Good Lord. Both my ankles too, of all things. So that's what I get for exposing my ankles. That's what I get for being an immoral person, I suppose, and having exposed ankles. I don't know. I think that's about good, because I think if I do much more, I'm going to make myself a little too sore. Just wanted to jump on the live quick and do some of this, since I haven't gone live most of this week, since school stuff's going to be starting, or has started. It's going to really be starting next week, but maybe I'll start going live when I do these to hold myself accountable for that. But that's going to be it for this live stream. I'm going to go in and eat some food and relax, so see you all in the next one, or the next